Shio, today is May 3rd, 2020. I'm joined again with Chief Sneed. Chief Sneed, as everyone in the community's pretty much been made aware of, we've got an uptick in fatalities and drug overdoses. There's a bad batch of heroin on the street. What are kind of your responses to some of that, or what are we going through?
Well, first, I want to say, my heartfelt condolences and thoughts and prayers to those families who have lost loved ones. This is not just a local tragedy, but a national tragedy. Things of this nature are happening all over the country, and it's a never-ending battle.
Right.
I mean, every time we take a dealer down, every time there's interdiction, every time there's a seizure, that supply chain, it seems to just continue to keep rolling. So locally, we took our narcotics officers and off of the checkpoints because, as everybody's aware, we've had all of our police deployed to the various checkpoints around the boundary. So about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we pulled our narcotics teams off of, when we first saw the upticks in the number of overdoses, we pulled them so that they could do interdiction work. They've made 13 arrests. They've logged over 200 hours of overtime working this. And I think the part people need to understand as well, in order to get a warrant, there's a lot of work that goes into that, and so it's one thing for them to show up on the scene, to try to prevent the flow of traffic, but in order to get a solid bust and get a conviction, there's a lot of work that goes into that. So I'm grateful for the work that they're doing. But again, this is one of those situations where we're very fortunate that we have access to Narcan,
right?
Because there have been a lot of overdoses where a lot of those folks have been brought back because of the fact that we have Narcan. So it's a challenge on so many fronts. It's like we have all these different things going. We've got the pandemic going, so we've got checkpoints going. Our law enforcement stretched thin. Police, fire, and EMS are all deployed. They're all essential workers. So there's just a lot happening right now.
I know the initial kind of knee-jerk reaction is to start pointing fingers and shifting blame everywhere. But our tribe is very fortunate in a number of services and opportunities that we have that we are battling and have been battling this with.
Right.
What are some of those issues?
Sure, it's true. I mean, if you look at comparison-wise as to what the surrounding counties and cities and towns have the ability to do is very, very limited, simply because they don't have the funding for it.
Right.
But we're fortunate. We've put a lot of resources, to long-term treatment, to Anna Laniszki for outpatient care. The Mothertown Project, phase 2 of the hospital will be coming online soon, which is that missing component for transitory care for those folks who are addicted. They want to get treatment. They're going to need to detox before we can find a permanent bed for them. So there's a lot that we're doing. It's just this never-ending battle.
Right. And so with that, moving forward, what are you looking at doing, in your role in this as a chief?
Well, like everyone else, I mean, I'm very frustrated that, it just seems like every time we take one dealer down, another one pops up. Mm-hmm. I'm meeting with the Police Commission chair tomorrow, along myself and the vice chief, along with the chief of police and the 2 captains. My message to them is going to be simple, is I want pressure on these dealers all the time. I understand we have rights and we're here to protect people's rights, but you're killing our people.
Right.
And I'm done. I've had it. And so, my message to the dealers is simple. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. And I'm going to be bringing a piece of legislation to council because to date, as far as I know, we have yet to banish a drug dealer who is an enrolled member. And I get it. They're part of our community,
right.
But when you're selling drugs to our children and you're killing our family members, you're not part of our community.
Right.
So it'll be a provisional banishment that would have a start date and an end date.
Okay.
I would like to propose that we give the court the authority to do that, but I don't know. I'll have to look into the legality of that. Can the court do it? In such a way that they have a start date and an end date, and then within that time period, they have to get treatment, get a job, et cetera, so that we can restore them to our community.
Yeah, because the idea is not to permanently banish
members,
but to get them some help.
Right. It's about restoration and redemption, but the way it seems to be working right now is, the dealers know that if they keep their quantity of drug on hand below a felony level, essentially it's going to be a slap on the wrist and they'll be right back at it again. And so there has to be consequences for this.
Good.
I mean, people are dying. And so, again, my message to the dealers, we're coming for you. Our community's had it. This tribe has had it. And we're going to be taking much more serious action.
I think that's a strong stance, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure the community does. If you're out there in the public and you have any information that you need to share with folks, please call all the outlets that you can. Let them know where you're seeing things at, where things are happening at. I promise you, and the chief assures us, measures are being taken, and we're going to fight this, and we're going to fight it head on as a community, and that's what we have to do. Post on our Facebook page if you have any questions or concerns, and we'll see you soon. Data Dog, you.